الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Inshallah, yeah, next week. But today I was just going to talk about the hadith that we mentioned this morning, where a person will have deficiency in their salah, right? Then it will be completed by the nawafil that we do, right? It's very important that we always try to read the nawafil, right? Sometimes shaitan puts in our minds that, oh yes, uh, just let me do the faraid. Please, I do the faraid. Yeah, that's the last thing, and that's the last resort. So at least I do the faraid, and that's it. I don't want to do anything else, right? The nawafil, you can look at it in such a way that it is like a backup, like plan B, right? Why? Because it's mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, He will, see, right, how many fara'id we have read, how many salah we have done, right? And from that salah, if there's any deficiency, then we'll see, does he have any, sunnah? Does he have any, um, what do you call it? Does he have any nawafil, right? The nawafil that we do, right? One is that we do it in the masjid, right? It's sunnah to do it at home, but the main thing is such that when you go home, or as soon as you go out of the masjid, right? You think, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that, right? And by thinking about all these things, what happens is that you forget about the nawafil, right? But it's sunnah to do it at home. If you go home and you have a designated place in your home for salah, and you are performing salah there on a regular basis, meaning the nawafil, not the fard, right? Meaning the nawafil, then inshallah that will be such that that will be a rewarding for you. It will be something where this is like the how this is a place of worship, right? And it will be something example for your children as well. That yeah, sometimes your children will come and they'll stand next to you and they'll start going in sajda, and you in sajda they'll be jumping on you. All these things, subhanallah, this is teaching for our children and our families. See, right? That's very important. But if you cannot read it at home and you forget, like it happens so many times, and shaitan will make us forget, then it's preferable that you read in the house of Allah. That you read in the masjid, right? And then when it comes to nawafil as well, we pick and choose, right? Like we know the sunnah of fajr, it's a must, right? It's a mu'akkada, and that is a must. Rasulullah ﷺ never missed it, right? Then when it comes to sunnah of dhuhr, the sunnah of dhuhr is 4, right? Then it's 4 fard, right? The wisdom behind the sunnah as well, that performing salah before it, right, is such that when you are busy, you come from masjid, come from home, come from work, or wherever you are, you come and then you start salah, right? One is straight jumping into the fard, right? One is you are doing the sunnah. When you do the sunnah, you are, focusing and building that devotion, concentration in your salah, so that when you do the fard, it's even better than the sunnah, right? There's more concentration in the fard, right? That is one wisdom behind it. Secondly, is that it's the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never missed it, right? Then there is the sunnah after the dhuhr prayer, which is the 2 sunnah, right? Then there is the 2 nawafil, right? So these sunnah and nawafil are such that when we perform them, inshallah, it will be more rewarding. And as it is mentioned in another hadith, that the closest a person can get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is through the nawafil, right? Through the nafil prayers, right? And during the entire day, there is ishraq, right? Which is after the sunrise. 2 rakat, you read, you will get the reward of Hajj and Umrah, right? And the other 2 that you add on to it, right? In the masjid, definitely when you're in the masjid, you perform and you are here and you are staying until Ishraq.
Is the same reward when you do that?
Yes, Allah, you will still get the same reward, because why? It's nothing, right? When you read it in the masjid, yes, it's rewarding, right? But when you go at home as well, and because nowadays it's such that the time, or even other days, the time between the Fajr prayer, Jama'ah, and Ishraq, it's close to an hour, right? It's close to an hour. So you is sitting here an hour, and you're going to do Sunnah, Nafil after that, right? And you have other things to, I mean, if you can't do it at home, but the purpose is that you perform the Nafil. Then there is a Duha, right? There is the Salat al-Duha, right? Salatul Duha. Then there is Salatul Awabi, which is after Maghrib, right? And then, so these are Nawafil, and then at the same time, Tahajjud, the Tahajjud prayer, right? Which Hadith mentions that Allah descends, right, to the lowest heaven, and He asks, is there anybody there to seek, to ask for their needs from me, to seek forgiveness from me, right? Who needs anything, and who can ask that from me. Allah descends to the lowest heaven and He asks, not just in Ramadan, not just in the last 10 days of Ramadan, but every night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, some of us are sleeping, right? We don't know anything about it, right? We say, oh, what happened? I missed Fajr, or I just overslept, right? SubhanAllah, that happens, right? But again, mean when a person, you know, think, I always mention this, and I think that, it's a lesson for myself and all of us. If we have a flight at 4 a.m., right? You know, we'll get up at 2 a.m., right? We'll get up at 3 a.m. We'll get up way before time, right? And that, our alarm, our spouse, children, everybody will wake us up, right? And we'll have a good breakfast and do this and then go to the airport, right? But, if we want to perform the Hajj, now let me tell you another secret, right? The ayah which I read in the first rak'ah, right? Inna alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. If you read that at night, the last thing you read, and you think, I want to get up at 4 a.m., you'll get up. Okay? See, try that and let me know in the morning, inshallah. Okay? Try it, seriously. You say you read the last, this ayat, so from Inna alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat till the end, وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا, right? Until then, you read that, and then you think that I want to wake up at 4 a.m., right? Seriously, somebody will wake you up.
So for me, what works for me is Inna Anzalna. When I get Salamun Hiya Hatta, then I say whatever the niyyah I want, and I don't finish it, and exactly the time I wake. Something will happen, you have to know.
Yeah, no. You will wake up. I experienced such that somebody is like waking you up, right? Okay.
So usually the reason why the tahajjud is hard to do. Usually I wake up and I use the restroom, and some people say when you do the nawafil at that time, the phone will get getting your grade is kind of light all the time. Just that. And when you do that, you can go back to sleep.
Exactly. Then you have fajr, right?
Then you stay up all night. When I wake up like 2.
Like right nowadays, subhanAllah, nowadays the fajr time starts around 6 a.m. Just after 6 a.m. Right? So even you wake up like 15 minutes before that time, right?
Oh, you can do it that time.
You can do it that
So
time.
maybe just wake up to use the restroom and then you can.
No. I mean that you can do that if you want to.
Then the guy will
again,
me up.
but again, yeah, if you wake up like 2 o'clock in the morning and you need to go to the restroom and then you start doing wudu, and then obviously you're not going to be able to sleep, right? But if you go to sleep again and then you wake up, just say 5:30, right? Just say 5:30. 5:30 you wake up, and then after that you are praying tahajjud, and then around 6 a.m. is around time when again it says over there 5:56. That's when the fajr time comes in. So 5:56, that the tahajjud time is gone, right? Sometimes nowadays, alhamdulillah, our women folk, those who have missed their fast in Ramadan, they can make up their fast in these days because the day is short, right? Very easy. So they do the same thing as well. Like they will wake up a little bit early, do the suhoor, and 5:56 they're done, right? And then Maghrib Salah 5:28, right? So it's close to 12-hour fast, easy, right? So they can make up their fast which they have missed. It's a very important, a very good time to do that right nowadays. I think
Good reminder, actually.
Yeah, inshallah, that's yeah, because I mean my wife is finishing hers as well. I think today was last one. So alhamdulillah, it's a good reminder for us, where our spouses need to do that. It's very important to do that. You can't, sometimes some scholars say you shouldn't leave 1 year's fast that you have missed until the next, year that the, Ramadan comes in again. You see, because then they'll accumulate. And when they accumulate, it becomes harder, right? Like just say one Ramadan, sister has missed 5, 6 fasts, right? Then the next Ramadan, she will miss another 5, 6 fasts, right? So that's like 12, 13 fasts, and then that will, build more and more and more, right? She need to make up for that, right? So it's very important that we do that. May Allah subhanahu wa
I
ta'ala.
have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if there's deficiency in your sunnah prayers?
Deficiency in Sunnah prayers, there's no, making up for them. You just do istighfar, ask forgiveness from Allah, because there is no making up for them. Okay? There's only making up for fara'id and the witr prayer. Okay? There's only making up for that. Okay?
I never heard about it. I never knew about wither.
Yeah, no, the witr as well.
Wither, you have to make it up.
Yeah, you have to make it up.
So I have one question.
So what if you pray at home, like say 5:30, right? You pray 2 rakat at home, then you head to the masjid, pray another 2 rakat. Now, is the niyyah for the nafil at home, or is it going to be considered as tahajjud?
It can be tahajjud. It can be tahajjud. See, they both can be tahajjud. Because tahajjud prayers, like Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to do about 8, and then some, say 11, right? And then some include, in that 11, they include the witr as well. So also Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to do his witr in the last part of the night after the tahajjud. He used to read his witr then. Okay, so that's also another option, right? So you read 2 rakats at home, you come over here and you read tahajjud. It's same thing, same intention, right? And then again, it's a time of dua. Like sometimes some scholars, what they do is that they do tahajjud. They might only do 2 rakat, they might only do like 4 rakat, or maybe 6 rakat, and there will be not too long rakats as well. And then they will spend more time in dua. In dua. And subhanallah, now the dua that we do nowadays is like, quick, 1 second duas. No, we have to act like, for example, a kid, please and, nags the parents for something that he or she wants. That kind of pleading, and not in the sense that, oh Allah, why did you do this to me? No, like you shouldn't have done this. Did you only find me to give this, punishment to me, or, nothing like that. No, but you are pleading to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Like.
So our relationship between us and Allah is like we are slaves.
Exactly, yeah. When
So
you are
He doesn't have to give us. So.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to that, where, as I said, that when a child, he continues, he's persistent, in asking for what he wants. He wants candy, he wants whatever, a toy or whatever it is, right? In the same way, sometimes you want something and you ask again and again and again, right? Oh Allah, it's good for me. Oh Allah, please grant it to me, right? And you continue doing that, right? What is it? It's a win-win situation, right? Either Allah will give you that, right? So, or the amount of times that you have asked for it, Allah will give you something better in the hereafter. And He has stored that for you in the hereafter, right? And then when you see that in the hereafter, you think, oh, I wish all my du'as were accepted in the hereafter. Nothing was accepted in the dunya. So that's it's a win-win situation. Yeah. And subhanallah, when we make that dua with full devotion, sincere dua, right? Sincere dua. Allah says in the Quran, "Amma yujibul muttar idha da'a," right? That the one who's in difficulty or in hardship, right? And he makes that dua, right? Sometimes you're in so much difficulty and you've gone through so much, hardship, and you make dua, not that you curse somebody, right? You make dua, and when you make that dua, and that is something that Allah, accepts straight away. Inshallah, may Allah give us understanding. This is what has been said. I apologize for the thing. I just completely, I don't know what day was today, to be honest. I was thinking it's Monday. Subhanallah. Yeah. Sorry?
We'll do it next time, so.
Inshallah, yeah,
This
definitely.
was really good one.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
This discussion was good too, yeah.
Yeah, no, inshallah, we'll have more discussions. I think also in the tafsir, sometimes I go so over the time, and I'm thinking I don't want to go too long, because then people
People go to work.
yeah, people have to go to work, people have other things to
People
do.
have to wake up for Friday.
Yeah, exactly. So then, I don't want to do any Q&A afterwards, but inshallah, we'll try and do other Q&A. But again, we're nearly finishing Surah Al-Mulk, so inshallah, hopefully, maybe, no, actually, I was thinking Surah Baqarah myself as well. But because Surah Baqarah teaches you a lot of things, so what I was thinking, and it'll be a longer time. That's going to be a long one, because even, going through each ayah and going through one or two ayahs and talking about it's going to be too much. So, hopefully by end of January, maybe we can finish this surah. Let's see. If there's we have like 1 or 2 weeks left, 1 week. So inshallah, we'll by end of January, we finish this surah and then start Surah Baqarah, and we'll continue inshallah.
So, I mean, I have one confused scenario, right?
Go ahead.
Say in the morning, you pray 2 rakat at home. You drive into the masjid to pray, Fajr. So by the time you get there, they already started.
Oh, that's right.
Now you still have to pay the 2 rakat before.
So yeah, according to Shakil said that you have to pray 2 rakat nafil, the sunnah, because it's very important that Rasulullah never missed it. So if you don't fear that the Imam is going to complete his salah, like for example, he's in the first rakat, the first rakat, second rakat, they are long. You can still catch the prayer, then you should at the back perform the 2 rakat sunnah and then join. Right? Yeah, quickly, like small surah and thing in that manner, and then when you have the fear of the Imam and completing his salah, then you should join and then pray afterwards.
You can make the niyyah that the one you did at home will be the 2 rakat.
No, because see, look, you have to know, you have to do it after the time comes in. So, for example, if the time didn't come in, if the time came in and you did the sunnah, then that would be counted as sunnah, because it won't be counted as tahajjud because the time has gone by. See, if you're doing it anything before 5:56, it's going to be counted as tahajjud. See what I mean? And then if you're reading sunnah at 6:10, then obviously the time of tahajjud has gone by.
If you want to pray tahajjud at the masjid, but the adhan for Fajr has already been called, can you still pray the tahajjud?
No, because the time has lapsed. The time has gone. It has to be before.
Exactly. No, always makes sense.
Yeah, usually when I go home, I have a pray. I don't really pray.
Okay. You guys don't want to see when they want. You guys want to think about what to do?